Hey guys, welcome back to Gardening Young. Today is week 13, I believe, of our garden tour series. I'm so glad you guys are here to show you everything that's going on. A couple new things have been happening this week. If you haven't been catching my vlogs this week, then I'm gonna update you now. And if you have, then you will just get to see everything else as well. So today we're just going to kind of walk around the garden. Everything is growing like crazy, and I can't wait to show you. So grab your cup of coffee and let's just hop right into this video. Okay, so starting here in our front bed, we have our peppers, and I see now I need to prop it up. We've been getting a lot of rain. We'll check our rain gauge in just a minute, but one of my peppers are falling down there with my stick over there, so I need to tie that up, get that resituated. But everything over here is doing pretty good. We have a fish pepper, we have a bell pepper, and this was a bell pepper, but it wilted for some reason and hasn't come back, so I'm just kind of leaving it. These two right here are banana peppers, doing really well. It has a little baby banana pepper, so that's super exciting. Actually, I just saw this. 2 baby banana peppers. That is so exciting. Super exciting. And then there's another banana pepper over there. So we have that bed. And then over here we have some cinnamon basil, doing amazing. And then this used to be thyme, but for some reason both of my thymes that I have planted in my garden have both died, like just completely died. It's not because I'm not watering them, so I have no clue why they have died, but that's what has happened with that. And then here in our front bed, this has definitely changed since the last time you guys saw it. Well, I guess in the vlogs you saw it change, but if you haven't seen, I actually tore out my slicers this week, my slicer tomatoes. So I tore out my slicer tomatoes this week just because of the fact that they weren't doing anything and honestly taking up space. And I wanted to get in a late succession of squash and zucchini in because I wasn't able to plant any, so I thought I would get a late succession in. And so I had to tear out my tomatoes because honestly they weren't doing anything, giving me nothing, and they were just taking up space at this point. So I decided to tear them out, and now we have planted zucchini and squash in this bed. So we have 3 varieties in here. We have Black Beauty zucchini, Ford Hook zucchini, and then your like basic straight neck squash variety. So that's what's in there. I think I have 6 in this bed, and then I planted 1 in here, so those are sown. Over here we have our early jalapeno. It has some flowers, so oh, here we go, there's a baby. We have a couple babies. So we have there, yeah, you see that, 2 little babies. That's super exciting. The peppers have been doing amazing this year, I can say that. We have our zinnias over here. So this is the polar bear variety, doing great. I actually cut a bouquet this week, absolutely beautiful. So this one's about to bloom. And then this is the pink senorita, or senorita, or whatever, I always butcher it. But that's this variety. And we have more blooming, so that's really exciting. And then we have the lemon queen sunflower over here, like so close to blooming. You can see there, really close. So super excited about that. Hopefully that will bloom super duper soon, but looking really good. Then over here on our arch trellis, we have the Muncher Cucumber variety. This was transplants that I got from the farmer's market, and they're doing actually really good, surprisingly, considering how hot it's been. No cucumbers from it yet, but lots of flowers. Doing really good. You can see this one is getting so tall. It's basically as tall as me now, or almost. So it's getting really tall. I think it's going to climb across this trellis. We have a Barry's Crazy Cherry that I let use this trellis, but we'll look at those later. Over here we have our beans, which will probably get pulled out either this week or next week so that I can get another succession of beans put in before the frost. So that's what's going to be happening this week. But the Muncher Cucumbers, again, doing really good. You can see our rain gauge. So we got about an inch. I'll dump that out in a second. I have my coffee in my hand. And then over here, we have our cherry tomato bed. This has honestly taken off this week because officially all of the plants have started to produce and turn, like all their cherry tomatoes are turning. So these first two are sun gold tomatoes. Those are the little gold tomatoes you can see there, over there. And these are super sweet. One of our favorites in my family. Just really, really sweet little gold tomatoes. And then this next one is one called Barry's Crazy Cherry. My first year growing it, and I absolutely have fallen in love with this variety. It absolutely produces a ton because it grows in these very unusual clusters. You can see some more clusters up in there, and that's one of the really unique things about it, and I've absolutely loved it. And they're just really sweet clusters. Produces a lot, which when you have a big family comes in handy. And then this is the blue cream berry variety. This has also started to produce, and you can see it's doing great. All of these have gotten past the trellis, so these two I'm just gonna let go onto that arch trellis whenever it gets really tall, but this one I would think I'm gonna have to put a stick up there and try to support it that way because there's no arch trellis on the other side of that, so we'll figure out something with that. So as you can see, I actually have cherry tomatoes that I need to harvest, but a little tip is that if ever you've just watered your plants or it's just rained, the water is going to, or the tomatoes are going to just have soaked up that water, and actually that makes, whenever it's freshly watered, the plant, it just takes all the sugars basically away from the actual tomatoes. So I like to harvest my tomatoes a little bit after whenever the tomatoes are honestly kind of dried out, because the actual tomatoes aren't as watered down and the flavor and sweetness isn't as watered down. So that's why you notice me not harvesting any of these tomatoes that are ready. So that's just a little tip. Harvest your tomatoes when they're kind of like dried out and thirsty, because those tomatoes are going to be really sweet and concentrated in sugars, and their flavor will taste a lot better. So here's your little tip. Okay, so walking out of the big garden, we have our raised on stilts bed, and this is 2 cherry tomatoes that were suckers, and I rooted them and stuck them in this bed. They're doing really good. I don't remember what the varieties were because I didn't write them down, but they're doing amazing. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I might support and prune this tomato, but I kind of am tempted to just let this tomato plant do its thing and show you guys how it will grow if I let it grow on its own. So I think that's kind of what I'm going to do with these two, because I don't really have a support system for them, and I just kind of want to let them go and see what they do. So that's the plan for these, is they're going to be my little visual of how tomato plants grow on their own. So that's the plan for those, but those are doing really good. Those are doing really good. Over here we have some lemon basil, a polka dot plant. Over here we have a Vinca Vine, a huge polka dot plant, a Vinca Vine. This is the Alaska mix nasturtium, doing really good. A lot of foliage, no flowers yet. Another polka dot plant, This is the lettuce leaf variety, doing really good. That's a basil. We have some parsley, shishito pepper that is absolutely covered. You can just see there's a ton on it. So that makes me super happy. We have more lemon basil, marigolds, 2 polka dot plants over there. We have a dahlia doing really, really good. I see a couple buds on it, so hopefully we'll get some more blooms. And then we have some more marigolds. That is your basic Genovese basil over there. Over here is another nasturtium. I don't remember the variety. We have a huge parsley plant right here. And then over there, you can see is a Vinca Vine. So everything over here is actually doing really, really good. So I'm super happy with that. Then this plant over here, I am saddened to inform you that it has been honestly just taken over by my dogs. My dogs have gotten into this container. And it kind of looks like a stick. I think I'm going to fix the soil and see if it'll come back next year. We'll see if it does anything next year because dahlias are perennials. So I think it can survive this, but we'll see. So that's kind of the update on this loner over here. And then ending on the front porch, we have our catmint doing really, really good. It is absolutely gone crazy and wild because I think it just loves this humidity. It just does so well every year. This is my second year with this plant, doing amazing. Over here, this pot's kind of sad, but this Vinca Vine's doing really good. This little pink flower kind of petering out. Our creeping Jenny died. Again, I don't know why, but we do have some new growth, so maybe it'll come back. But everything over here, that mainly is doing pretty good. And then that one's definitely doing good. Callie, say hi. That's Callie, one of our dogs. This is my sister's dog, really sweet. Callie, you're such a good girl. Well guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this garden tour. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at the garden in all its glory in July. I'm excited to look back on these and watch the garden grow in the winter. But everything is kind of in full swing. Everything is kind of in full swing right now. We have a bunch of cherry tomatoes coming in. Again, I don't know if we'll just fresh eat it or if I will figure out some way to preserve them, but that is kind of what's going on. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I'll see you next time. Bye!